Good morning. It is Tuesday, August 17th. The time is 9:42. I'm calling the Board of Estimate and Contract regular meeting into session. Clerk Holmes, you can call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. If I may proceed with the call of the meeting, if I may. And welcome to the Board of Estimate contract meeting for the city of Mount Vernon, New York, here today, Tuesday, August 17th. Posted time at 9:30 a.m. And location is the Mayor's Conference Room in City Hall. This meeting is also viewable to the public by way of the City of Mount Vernon website, cmvny.com, or also via www.facebook.com/MOUNTBERNONNY. And the role is as such: Comptroller Reynolds, Council President Griffith,
Here.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Here.
Yeah.
I just want to say for the record that the governor did rescind the Zoom meetings from over a month ago. He rescinded the executive order that public meetings were to be done virtually. So we are required to do all of our public meetings in person. We continue to broadcast them on Facebook and CMVNY for the community, for the residents, understanding, but insofar as those who sit on boards and in committees or councils, we have to be in person. And so that is why we are having these meetings in person, and we continue to broadcast. I just wanted to make sure we have that on the record so the public understood. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Can you proceed with the agenda?
I will start. Under resolutions approving ordinances, item number 1 is authorizing the rendering of services for the order of consent with the Canal Street facility and marina. But before, may I entertain another motion?
Madam Mayor, I suggest that since we have 27 items of resolutions and ordinances, they were all approved by the city council, signed by yourself. If we can, if it serves the pleasure of the board, we read all 27 and vote on them in unison. Absolutely, and if the public wants more detail or discussion around them, then they can easily go back and look at last Wednesday's 6-hour city council meeting. They can skip the public hearing in the beginning, and then they can go and see the items being discussed and voted on, which has been done, and we can take each of these together. At 2:15 a.m. 2:15 a.m. I'm still catching up my sleep. Okay.
So I'm entertaining a motion to combine items number 1 through 27 to be. All right, so motion by Council President Griffith and second by Mayor Patterson Howard. Thank you. And I'll say you on the motion, Council President. And I'll say you, Madam. Right. Motion passes, and we will combine items number 1 through 27. One second. Thank you. Combined resolutions 1 through 27 are read as such. Item number 1, authorizing the rendering of services for the order of consent with the Canal Street facility and marina. Item number 2 is authorizing the Department of Public Works to purchase 8 small all-weather trucks with plows and sanders. Item number 3 is authorizing the Department of Public Works to purchase 4 emergency all-weather Freightliner trucks. Number 4 is authorizing the Department of Public Works to purchase 4 emergency street sweepers. Item number 5 is authorizing the purchase of 10 2021 police interceptor SUVs, fully equipped vehicles. Item number 6 is authorizing the transfer of funds within the Department of Public Works to purchase a clamshell truck. Item number 7 is authorizing a retirement plan, pension plan number 674 for senior members of the Mount Vernon Fire Department. Item number 8 is authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with SHI for Lenovo laptops. Item number 9 is authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Dell Marketing LP. Item number 10 is authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Westchester County Office of Senior Programs and Services under the Wellness and Nutrition Program, or WIN, and Nutrition Services Incentive Program, or the NSIP. Item number 11 is authorizing the mayor to enter into a service agreement on behalf of the executive director of the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau with the Westchester County Youth Bureau. Item number 12 is granting permission to Corporation Counsel to enter in to amend, we'll start again. Item number 12 is granting permission to Corporation Counsel to attend a conference entitled Advanced Course in Police Discipline, Essential Training in Changing Times. Item number 13 is requesting to eliminate the position of Secretary 1 and create the position of paralegal in the law department. Item number 14 is authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Westchester County Office of Senior Programs and Services. Item number 15 is directing the comptroller to remit payment to the Westchester County Finance Department. Item number 16 is granting permission to the mayor and one staffer to attend the 89th annual meeting of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Item number 17 is granting permission to the Department of Recreation to co-sponsor City Fest with the Friends of Mount Vernon Arts, Recreation, and Youth Programs, Inc. Item number 18 is authorizing the transfer of funds within the law department. Item number 19 is authorizing the transfer of funds within the city clerk's office. Item number 20 is authorizing the Department of Public Works to purchase one garage shop truck. Item number 21 is authorizing the Department of Public Works to purchase 7 emergency sanitation trucks. Item number 22 is authorizing and directing the controller of the city of Mount Vernon to establish an escrow account pursuant to the 3rd remedial order in the matter of the United States of America, State of New York, and Basil Segos as Commissioner of the New York Department of Environmental Conservation versus the city of Mount Vernon. Item number 23 is declaring an emergency roof repair for the Mount Vernon Armory located in 114 North 5th Avenue. Item number 24 is authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding by and between the city of New York and the city of Mount Vernon to rent 3 mechanical brooms. Item number 25 is authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Almani Public Charter School. Item number 6 is authorizing the imminent danger urgent demolition of unsafe buildings representing serious environmental health and safety, or the EH&S hazards to citizens, friends, and visitors of Mount Vernon. Item number 27 is authorizing the transfer of funds within Department of Assessment. Thus reads the combined motion of items number 1 to 26.
On item number 1 through
26.
Oh, yes, we are gonna hold that one. 26. I reached out to you.
That kind of.
Okay. Just want to type it out. Okay. So we're holding 26. And while we're not going through each of them, I just want to be clear because we're authorizing a lot of spending in this. And so I want the public to understand that number 1 and number 6 are both in conjunction with our Federal Department of Justice and New York State combined, consent decree. These monies are coming out of our contingency fund. And then numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, and 21. All of the equipment for public works and for the police department are being paid for through American Rescue Fund monies, which that budget was approved by the council on last Wednesday. And just on number 22, the authorizing and directing the controller for the city of Mount Vernon to establish an escrow account pursuant to the third remedial order in the matter of United States of America and State of New York, and Basil Seagulls is the Commissioner of the New York State DEC versus the city of Mount Vernon. As of last week, we told you the fines had accumulated up to $175,000. The fines are currently at now $220,000 and will continue to grow at $7,500 a day. This escrow account, as we received this literally just now, must be established by September 1st. So do we want to put any date in here where we're asking the controller or directing the controller to open up an account? Because we want to make sure that we meet that September 1st deadline, so I think we just might want to make this a little bit specific based on the email we received August 17th at 9:25 and 52 seconds this morning. You're just up to date.
All right.
Real time.
Yeah, and just as a point of order, or maybe even point of information, what I'm perhaps asking is maybe if you make a motion to adjust, because your motion was to combine all 27, but now you want to take something out, though that would change the motion. Right, so my suggestion is to make a motion to amend that other, to make the amendment, and then that way, so your motion is to take 1 through 27 with the exception of 26 or 1.
26, and with the
Which-
22 being amended to reflect the date of
Deadline.
So,
Establishment of, the date of establishment of the escrow must be no later than, say, August 30th.
so Dave escrow, and what is the one that's being removed? I'm sorry?
number 26.
Removed.
So if there's nothing else, Madam Mayor, then I amend my motion to approve all items 1 through 27, to it being items 1 through 25 and 27, with the exception to 22, where we are making a slight modification on the date of deadline to establish. And with that being said, I move on items 1 through 25 and 27.
I second your motion.
Thank you.
Okay. Roll call.
Council President Griffith
Aye.
and Mayor Passton Howard.
Aye.
Thank you. So we have that, and so then the combined motion, I'll take the roll on the combined motion if you're ready, for a motion. But I think we have motion that, and so we have we have items 1 through 25 and 27, okay, and an amendment to item number 26. That's correct. And so the
Item
motion,
number 26 being removed, not amended. Item number 22 is amended.
so the amendment, I'm sorry, thank you for the correction. So item number 22 is amendment to the date of escrow. Okay, item number 26 is removed. Item 1 through 25 and 27 are to be voted on. And that is on that motion, and that is motion by Council President Griffith, seconded by Mayor Passton Howard. Okay. And how say you, sir, on that?
So moved.
I have that, and I have the second.
Roll call, you're asking?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Aye.
Thank you. Mayor Passton Howard.
Aye.
Thank you. Believe it or not, we're done. Now we can move on, and we've held item number 26, and we move on to now item number 28 under settlements. I think we are back on the road.
Yeah.
Thank you for the point of clarification. Item number 28 is settling the claim for Felicia Highsmith for the sum of $20,000.
So moved.
Seconded. On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Council President Griffith
Aye.
and Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 29 is settling the claim of Frederick Richardson for $500.
So moved.
Seconded. On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Council President Griffith,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 30 is settling the claim of Allstate Insurance ASO Valerie Hislop Morgan for the sum of $6,328.10.
So moved.
Seconded. On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Council President Griffith,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 31 is under the title of tax review settlements. And 31 is settling tax review proceedings for K&S Real Estate Management at 224 West Lincoln Avenue for the sum of $7,367.41.
So moved.
Seconded. On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Council President Griffith,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 32 is settling tax review proceedings for Petrilla Realty Corporation at 571 Franklin Avenue for the sum of $2,324.74.
So moved.
Seconded. On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Council President Griffith,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Thank you. Under accepting bids, item number 33 is accepting the bid of PCI Industry Corp. for the sum of $9,526,545.50.
So moved.
Seconded. On the question. So on the question, again, because this is a big ticket item and we've spoken a lot about the financial, condition of Mount Vernon. We wanted to be very clear as to where these monies are coming from. And as of right now, not one dime of them comes from the city tax coffers. We have $2,817,797.72 coming from the CHIPS Consolidated Local Streets and Highway Improvement Program, and $723,289.51 coming from Pave New York. These monies have been, each year accumulating in our account since 2018 because they have not been expended due to, I believe, a $380,000 payment that we still owe. They just were paid, okay, so that we just paid PCI, and that had to go through lawsuits, settlements, lawsuits, because the controller refused to pay. So they've now been paid, so we can move forward. We also have $434,125.08 from Extreme Winter Recovery Funds. All of this comes from the New York State Department of Transportation. We have awarded approximately $2,800,000 from Community Development Block Grant, which is from HUD, which is a federal program through Housing and Urban Development. And those monies can be used to eliminate blight in neighborhoods. So that money is really dedicated to our moderate to low income neighborhoods. And we have approximately $2,500,000 that we are assigning from the American Rescue Plan funds to cover the total estimated spending of $9,575,212.31. Our Commissioner of Public Works and his team have gone through an assessment of our city streets, along with looking at work that needs to be done on sewers and storm drains. And they have rated the streets. They have assigned a priority list, north side, south side, and this is the list that we'll be working off of. I know everyone wants every street in Mount Vernon to be paved immediately, but I think this is the most extensive paving work that we will have done in the city. Ooh.
4 years.
Huh?
The past 4 years.
In the past 4 years. So we ask the residents to continue to be patient with us as we secure and assign money, and no one's getting favoritism, but we have to have an objective rating system and we're moving forward. So, anything else on the question? Roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Council President Griffith, I'll say you on item number 33,
Aye.
and Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Thank you.
If I may, Madam Mayor, on this item, even though the city council approved, this legislation plan that the commissioner of DPW came up with back in May 10, with the accepting of the bids, the difference between the two amounts here, we're still saving $48,666.81 when you divide out, when you subtract out the amount that we expected and the amount that we had of the bid. So, all in all, we thank the DPW commissioner and his team. We thank everybody, and I know the residents are going to be very pleased that hopefully in the next few years, the streets will be paved in a systematic way, and we continue to do that so that the potholes won't ravage our vehicles and our bicycles, et cetera, et cetera. So we're very excited that they're beginning to move forward with the combined funding that the administration has put together. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're not just looking to fill the potholes, we're looking to mill and pave.
Curb to curb. That's what I'm talking about.
Curb to curb, and I stated, you know, since we save time on the other items, just want to take a few seconds. And we stated the importance of combining this work with the work that Con Ed is doing and with the work that we're doing on our sewers and our storm drains, because we can continue to tear up the streets, pave them, and then re-tear them up. And so this $9 million that we're spending is only going to be bolstered by the money and the investment that we're able to secure from Con Ed, especially as we coordinate this work. And so we understand the work that Con Ed is doing, and I know the commissioner is working with Con Ed to look and see, okay, because when Con Ed opens a street, they're responsible for paving it curb to curb, and we've seen a lot of the streets that Con Ed has pulled up, and some of those places still have plates on them, which will give us an opportunity to go back down into those streets and get some of the work that the city is responsible for addressing our infrastructure. I see your hand. And so we, like we said, we want to make sure that that's a coordinated effort, and our 9 million can turn into so much more, to get so much more work done for the city. Mr. Gutsai?
I was just going to ask you, in terms of the CHIPS money, my understanding was that that was a reimbursable spending where you had to spend first for the state to reimburse you. Does this permit you to reestablish that rotation? Because I know that had gotten lost because the controller spent that money that was supposed to go back.
The rotation was put in the 2021 budget. So the rotation was put in the 2021 budget. I believe we put in $500,000. So we spend that. 1 million. We put in $1 million into the 2021 budget. So we spend that money. We put in for the reimbursement. It gets drawn down. It replenishes the account, and we continue to just rotate the money out of that. And that's only for a certain portion. So the CHIPS money, the Pave New York money, and the EWR, all of that being State Department of Transportation money, all of that comes to about a little more than $3.9 million. So we only have to do that for that money.
But what I'm trying to say is you had $4 million coming to you that you had to spend up front to get it.
You don't have to spend it all up front. We can spend 500,000, draw down 500,000. We could, it's a
I
minimum.
understand we have 4 years of using that opportunity.
But that money is still that money is still there. That money was not pulled back. We had a lot of conversations with the state. This is money during COVID that they were ready to take back 20% of. We were able to hold on to it. And so this almost $4 million still rests in that account right now, and we'll be able to pay out and expend, like with PCI, doing PCI finally, that's $380,000 right there. So that's money that we can put in for reimbursement and draw that money down and continue to use it as part of that money. The pump is primed. The challenge was that $380,000 had not been paid going back to 2018 after we lost one or two lawsuits. One lawsuit and then penalties coming from the second lawsuit. And finally, the controller relented after much and much pushing and urgency, and it has been paid. So this is what allows us to now move forward with this work. That $4 million. The other money through CDBG and the American Rescue Plan does not necessarily have that requirement on it. The American Rescue Plan monies are here. The CDBG monies are monies that we draw down and we spend. Thank you. It's been a lot of coordination, and we're glad that we're here. So I think that ends that piece that we.
Yes, ma'am. As a point of order, we're on item number 34, your discussion item.
Yes. Okay, so the temporary relocation of Station 4. As we know, on the 6th of August, we temporarily closed Station 4 fire station, which is located at 9-11 Oak Street. We closed that building due to years of no investment, very minimal maintenance. And when I say that, that has nothing disparaging to do with DPW. There are certain things that need to be done in our community that exceeds our capacity as DPW, and extra construction agencies, engineers, architects need to be brought in. So DPW has patched, and they have painted, and they have done everything that they could do at their level. But without proper funding and without the proper resources, a building that was last received a last major renovation in 1985. You know, I graduated from high school in 1986, and nothing goes without major upgrades, you know, in that amount of time. We needed to close it. We had a roof that was leaking everywhere, causing black mold. We had water damage from the roof as well as coming in through the mortar of the or the sides, because of no brick pointing for years. That was causing damage to the electricity, to the HVAC system, to the floors in the residential living part of the fire station, causing holes of a foot wide to be in the floors and making the floor around that spongy and dangerous to walk on and maneuver. And when you have firefighters who, you know, this is not a place that they work in for 3 hours or 8 hours. It's a place that they live in. It's a place that they sleep in because they have 24-hour shifts. And so if you're getting up from the dormitory and you're moving from your bedroom to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, or you're racing to run downstairs and get dressed for a fire, and you hit one of those patches where there's a major hole in the floor, and our firefighters go through that, that's a problem. Not being able to breathe in a building filled with mold is a problem. And having a concrete slab where our fire trucks sit, where we've talked about since 2008 or 9, was crumbling, literally, to the point that wooden beams had to be placed in under the floor, in the basement, to hold that concrete slab in place, is a major problem. We've looked at major structural and infrastructure issues around the country. We all sat in horror as we watched an apartment building in Miami crumble. But city officials knew, and were very, very well aware, that there were major structural issues. And because we didn't have, or maybe they didn't have an answer, or it seemed something like it was overwhelming, nothing was done, or nothing was done at the speed that it needed to be done. We are blessed here in Mount Vernon that floor has been able to hold itself up. But you get to a point, and one thing that we've done here in Mount Vernon, and it is no one's fault, this is not about finger pointing. This is about a community that has lacked resources. We're talking about an infrastructure bill across this country, because I think there's really not many cities that are not dealing with municipal buildings that are crumbling, streets and sewers that are crumbling, you know, not having proper lighting. This is bridges that are crumbling. This is a national issue. This is not about putting Mount Vernon on Front Street. We wouldn't be talking about $1 trillion infrastructure bill or a $3.5 trillion human infrastructure bill if this was not a national issue. And so again, this is not about finger pointing, but it is about having to make very, very hard decisions when these decisions have to be made, not for political expediency, but for public safety, to make sure that we are securing the assets of the city, making sure that we are resourcing the staff that we hold accountable to provide the services to the community, and making sure that we as the city are able to continue to provide the most basic level of services that our taxpayers expect us to provide, and that is necessary and required. So that decision was made. I toured that facility several times. I had our council president, he came in with me on August 5th, I believe it was a Thursday night, along with Councilwoman Duarte. Council President Thompson came and toured the facility on Friday, the 6th of August. On the 6th of August, I had an emergency meeting with our federal, our state, our county, and our city elected officials to give an update on the firehouse, what was going on with the firehouse. COVID caused the city COVID caused the state not to communicate with the city for over 15 months on violations that were found in that fire station that dated back to October 2019. We were not in office. That information came to the mayor's department. It was expected to be handled by December of 2019. That didn't happen. These are notices that they would usually send quarterly. The next time that they would have sent a quarterly message to us or notification to us to update what was going on would have been March 2020. We know what happened in March 2020. COVID happened in March 2020. The state was closed, people were sent home. So the city of Mount Vernon did not receive its next notification from the New York State Department of Labor, specifically the PESH, which is the Public Employee Safety and Health Division, which deals with employee complaints around their working conditions. And so there was a notification that was dated in June, but the notification that was also dated July 17th, I believe, that we received. I sat with my commissioner of fire, deputy commissioner of fire, our chief of operations, our union over there and look at it. We understood that the deterioration that was talked about since 2008 and 2009 and was temporarily remediated. And we had a very extensive engineering report done in 2012 that told the city to do something about that location immediately. Those things didn't happen. Those things didn't happen. And over 10 years, it continued to get worse. So there was not a hasty decision to close it, but there was an urgent decision. And when PESH became more involved and we became knowledgeable of some of their concerns on top of the concerns that we already had, we knew that PESH was advancing their case, we needed to advance ours, and we closed it. Yes, temporarily closed it. In the meantime, understanding that it is a 24-hour location, it is a 24-hour operation where fire department, unlike any other department in any city, require living quarters. We made phone calls to see, okay, where can they sleep, eat, shower, cook, and house fire engines. There are not many locations that have 9-foot ceilings and bays that will allow a fire engine to be parked in there. We do have industrial space. There was no need to look down in the Fulton area because we were talking about a west side location. And so we immediately went to the west side of the city, understanding that Engine 4, almost bar none, is the busiest engine in the city, understanding that it covers First Street all the way down to the Bronx line, up to Mount Vernon Avenue, McQuestion Parkway, straight through Fleetwood, all the way to the Bronxville border. This is a station that used to have 2 engines. but since 2009 has only had one engine because the floor and the infrastructure and the condition of the building was as such that it could not support two engines. We looked, we were able, we could, we spoke to people who said, well, you can't rent apartments because the apartments that we have are financed in such a way that we couldn't rent them to the city. We drove around the Question Parkway, up and down Mount Vernon Avenue, that west side area. We found one location that we would have to make some modifications to build an external temporary housing unit for the fire trucks because they need to be inside and heated in the winter. But we were able to locate a 3,700 square foot location that provides dormitory space for at least 8 firefighters, dormitory space for 2 officers, shower and bathroom facilities, a commercial kitchen, as well as a dining room and day room, because like I said, they're either out fighting or they're in, it's called a firehouse because it's like their home. It provides that. It was a letter of intent that we have. Clearly, there are things that we still can negotiate and need to negotiate. But the one thing that I know that our firefighters have told us, and I've also been informed of by my chief, is that a fire doubles in size every 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds, a fire doubles in size. And so, yes, we temporarily have them at 3rd Street, which puts the number of firefighters in that location to 16, which is too many firefighters to have in one location, not because of response times, but because of COVID right now. Our building department is shut because of COVID. COVID is still a reality, and we see the numbers going up everywhere. We do not want to keep our firefighters in that type of risky situation. Secondly, yes, while our bridges are open and our response times can be better getting from one side of town to the other, if there is a possibility of having a location in the West End, which, as we said, has the oldest housing stock in Mount Vernon, it has a large immigrant population that often is not aware of their housing rights and they don't, receive the best housing, knowing that it also houses a large commercial and retail businesses. We've been from 2 to 1. We can't go. We've been from 2 engines to 1 engine for over 12 years. We cannot go from 1 engine to no engine. We cannot. We cannot. And so I am having conversations with the council. I have no problem answering any concerns they might have as to how we chose the location, what the cost of the location is going to be. But what I do know as the mayor is that my primary responsibility to this community above everything else is public safety. And we have to ensure public safety at the same time that we are being fiscally responsible. And so it is with this understanding of my primary responsibilities that I will continue to work with my fire leadership and the firefighters union. And why do I say the union? Because it's their health and their safety. But above all, as dedicated public servants, they want to make sure that they are in the best position possible to provide the services to our community that is needed. It is in the West End that we lost 4 lives years ago. 4 lives. And so what is the cost of a life? And what is the urgency of making sure that we are in the position? The fire department's responsibility is the preservation of people's lives and property. And it makes it more difficult. That's their only job, is saving lives and preserving property. Saving lives and preserving property. And so it is with the sense of urgency and the understanding of the importance. There's a lot of things that we're not able to do, but there are some things that we are able to do, and the things that we are able to do, we need to do. And so, as I said, Council President, I look forward to having whatever conversations and advancing the conversations that need to be had with the council, to answer any questions or concerns that they might have. And if the council has alternative locations, I know there's been discussions about bringing Station 4 back up, and seeing how quickly we could bring it back up. But, it's not just a money issue, it is the extensive damage, and it can take a year to get Station 1 back up, even with all of the money in place. So I believe, as I said, this is a temporary solution. And if the council has another solution that can ensure the protection of life, property, in a way that this community deserves, then I look forward to hearing from them in short order. We know that it is the summertime and there are vacation schedules, but we also know that we are experiencing heat waves and that limited electrical things are causing people to do what they need to do to get air conditioned. We know that firefighters are on vacation as well, and we need to make sure that we are positioning them for success. We do have our Engine 4, which is moving around in that area, which is stationing itself strategically outside in that area as much as they can during the day, as well as we have our EMS doing the same time. But it's kind of hard to save homes when you're homeless. And right now, our Engine 4 and their crew are homeless and kind of living sheltered all the way on 3rd Street. And 3rd Street is a far cry from the West End. So I just wanted to give that update. And if there's nothing else, then I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Council President, how say you on the motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard,
Aye.
thank you. You are adjourned. Thank you. 10:26 is your adjourned.